I've been retired for about 10 years now. We took early retirement, and Ronelle's been retired for about 5 years. I think for me, retirement was when you leave work, the normal 9 to 5 job, you would then go home and you'd sit and watch TV all day, and within 3 months you're dead. And that was rather a scary thing. But when you actually start retiring, you realize that there's really so much to do, so much to travel, so many places to see, and so many things that you need to do at home, that retirement actually is not, it's not for sissies, but you get on and do it. I do think that when Ronelle retired, it was one of those things that when she retired, the day she retired, the next day we went on holiday, and we went away for 3 weeks. And that made it a lot easier for Ronelle to accept that she was now retired. And it wasn't that she woke up the next day and said, now what?
They allow us not to worry about money. As much as we'd like to abscond the responsibility, totally we can't. But it's not their entire focus. They allow us and they help us decide what we want to do with the rest of our lives. We love coming to their functions. They have great coffee and good food, so that's an attraction. But they organize lovely functions. They have talks on travel, they have book clubs, all sorts of interesting things that from a normal financial planning point of view is unusual. So the fact that they focus on me as a retiree and helping me achieve my personal goals and our goals is of importance, because the focus being totally on money I find a bit tedious. You know, we've developed more than a business relationship with the folks here, all the way from John all the way to Anne at reception. So it's part of a family. We're very comfortable and we're very assured that the expertise level of the people here is high. They win awards amongst their peers year after year after year. So I would recommend that people investigate having these folks look after them. We have also had the opportunity to have a life planning session with Kim, which we found very interesting. And in fact, I'm not sure how very professional we came across, because there was an hour of total laughter, because what we were doing was, or with Kim's help, was planning on what we were going to do with the rest of our lives. Now, in order to do that, they have to determine what kind of people we are. And we tend to be slightly eccentric and a little bit off the wall. So I think it was a challenge for them. The advantage of that is that it's not focusing on how much money you have. It's focusing on the kind of people you are and what you want to do with the rest of your life, which is typically 30 more years, hopefully. And while we're fit and healthy, we want to do these things. I also think that after a certain amount of time, being retired, we maybe need to have that life planning session again, because things change. One of the challenges for James is that he budgets on our behalf, obviously, and for years he has asked that we should actually spend the budget for a new car.
This is great.
Brian thinks that he'd like to buy an Aston Martin. That ain't going to happen. But the point of the story is that the budgeting is done based on what we think we will need over a 5 or a 10-year period. So this is reassuring, because in the event that we decide we do need a new car, we can phone James and say, you know, the budget, we're not going to use it. And it makes it easy for us without going into great financial detail to fund our lifestyle. And there is very, very little worry for us.